Hello everyone, this is Yours Trivia. Welcome back to another episode of our Dynasty Warrior 8 Extreme Legend. It's in story mode. We continue with the Wei Emperor's Last Stand. This is in reference to Cao Mao, who tried to lead a band of palace guards and eunuchs mainly to attack Sima Zhao, outright trying to kill him because he made the statement that even the random civilian in the capital knows what Sima Zhao wants, and he wants the throne. So he's not going to stand by and remain a puppet emperor anymore. And he was only 19 at this time. This is 6 years into his reign. He was picked as the replacement emperor for Cao Fang by Sima Shi when he was 13. He is the cousin to Cao Fang. He's Cao Pi's grandson through Cao Lin, who did not get the line from Cao Rui, obviously, so Cao Rui's brother, his kid. And he was picked because he was very bright, and this was Empress Dowager Guo's choice. She basically insisted. At the time, Sima Shi wanted Cao Cao's younger son to take over, but the Empress Dowager argued that she didn't want to switch away from Cao Pi's line, so they ended up picking him. Now, it is a travesty that Jia Chong is not available to play in this battle, because historically, he leads the defense for Sima Zhao and ends up killing the emperor. Not personally, it turned out to be one of the emperor's own attendants named Cheng Ji, who would stab the emperor in the back with a ji, essentially killing him on the streets of Luoyang. And the whole story is pretty simple. Basically, in the middle of the night in the palace, the emperor summons 3 officials that he felt was close to him, Wang Lin, Wang Ye, and Wang Jin, I think. And the 3 of them basically discussed with the emperor that this is a terrible idea. This will only speed up the Sima clan takeover. But Cao Mao was one of those few emperors, because there's so many emperors who had been puppets throughout history. He's one of the few with guts to try to change it himself, and he was not entirely wrong to gamble here, because in the beginning, as he marched out, he bumped into the guards under Sima Zhao's command, or his brother's command, basically Sima Zhao's men. And they didn't dare to actually fight him. He was, holding a sword himself, fighting in there. Everyone's still shares a decent amount of respect for the emperor. No one wants to be responsible to be the one who kills the emperor. And he fought his way until Jia Chong's forces came, and Jia Chong sort of just yelled out to the force, the Sima clan have raised you for a moment like this. And it was at this moment that one of the attendants of the emperor, who obviously was placed there by the Sima clan, Cheng Ji, came out and just stabbed the emperor in the back, thus ending this little last stand. And afterward, Sima Zhao was distraught because, his men sort of killed the emperor. This is terrible. The world might rebel against him. He approached Chen Tai and asked him about, is there any way out? Because Chen Tai was one of the respected officials at this time. And in the end, what they did was they casted the blame entirely on Cheng Ji, who stabbed the emperor and his clan. And at the same time, he sort of forced the Empress Dowager to make up a story saying that Cao Mao had actually been the bad party involved. He was being considered to be abolished for not respecting the Empress Dowager. And after trying to poison the Empress Dowager, Sima Zhao's men came and saved her and ended up killing the emperor. So basically a made-up story to make him look bad. And to save face, they sort of abolished him posthumously, saying he's just a civilian now, or he had his previous Marquis title. And it was through some, basically acting on the part of Sima Zhao and the Grand Commandant Sima Fu, who was still alive, his uncle. They basically said, he's done great. He should have the burial of an emperor, and they gave him a good burial, and that was that. They swapped emperors again. Went to Cao Huan, who eventually will get replaced very soon after by Sima Zhao's son, Sima Yan, who will start the Jin Dynasty. So we're almost there. There is no suitable character here because Jia Chong's not here, so we'll play as Sima Zhao himself. We'll do the deed ourselves, I guess. Killing Emperor should be fun. Yeah, looks like we pretty much only have one tier 3, and that's still the case right now. This one might be slightly better than... yeah, let's swap that one. And we'll see if they are selling anything interesting. We're level 24. We should be getting level 25 somewhere in this battle, hopefully.
I'm sure I can find better ways to spend my time.
We can no longer abide the tyranny of the Suma, which is why I must make a stand and bring them their punishment. Brave warriors of Wei, fight alongside me.
The Emperor is making his move. This is it.
No doubt. This is all part of your plan. No, don't answer that. We have already slain the Emperor's men. There's no going back after that. We will fight the Emperor. If you think that disrespectful or treasonous, you had best leave at once.
Emperor or not, he is just another fool. I refuse to bow my head to one such as him. I do not consider what we are doing wrong at all.
Like I said, I... just remember my promise to you.
I knew that's what you'd say. Okay, let's get started.
I guess no camp.
Only those
But
willing
this
to oppose the
whole
Emperor
event
come
was
with
not
me.
planned. There was no
Now,
preemptively planned to force the Emperor to try to kill you. That's usually not a good thing.
I promised.
And Cao Mao was an excellent, I wouldn't say excellent emperor per se. He doesn't have really much authority to rule, but as a scholar, as a talent, reminiscent of Cao Cao and Cao Pi, as many described him, he was a very astute Confucian scholar. He was a good poet, just like his great-grandfather and grandfather, Cao Cao and Cao Pi. He was also... oh, we find him right away? Wow.
Hold it right there. I am the Emperor of Wei.
And I'm gonna serve you.
Sima Zhao, who governs this land? Is it you or is it me? Answer me at once.
The answer should already be
Oh, we
obvious.
almost served him.
Now, if you were to simply go away quietly...
Zhonghui really shouldn't trash talk the Emperor. He was one of the teachers for the Emperor. The Emperor is very studious, studied a lot of Confucian texts, and Zhonghui was one who was one of his 4 teachers. Makes sense, because Zhonghui's father, Zhongyao, was a very respected scholar.
Come soon enough.
That was almost too easy.
We're all set, Zhao. We can enter through the front gates.
Jia Chong, just how far are you willing? Never mind. Now's not the time for questions.
Zhao, you head straight for Cao Mao. Well, you don't need to worry about me.
And another thing is, after the Emperor was killed, when Sima Zhao approached Chen Tai about how to take care of this aftermath, he said the only thing that can calm people down is if we kill Jia Chong. And the punishment would be Yaozhan, which is basically split him in half. It's a pretty cruel punishment. And Sima Zhao was like, I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna think of a different plan. Jia Chong showed his loyalty in this fight, and Sima Zhao didn't throw him under the bus afterward. So that's why Jia Chong's family is very well taken care of. That's why his daughter, Jia Nanfeng, could marry Sima Yan's son, Sima Hui, the mentally kind of retarded emperor that will lead to the 8 Prince saga.
One less imbecile. I hope you're right. Yuanji.
And another sad part, other than saying Cao Mao
That's for
getting killed by
history to
one of his
decide.
attendants, is
There's no
that
point
after he
worrying about it
approached
now.
those 3 officials, 2 of them immediately went to Sima Zhao to inform him that the emperor is doing this. The only person who didn't, Wang Jing, was asked to go, and Wang Jing just felt bad. He felt like the emperor's not saying anything wrong, and he stood by the emperor only to get killed by Sima Zhao afterward
That was almost too easy.
as punishment.
Use of these soldiers,
This looks like a
Master
trap.
Jiao Chong.
Wang Cheng, that's one of the 3. There's also Wang Jing and
defeat, Your
Wang
Highness.
Ye, I think.
If you were to simply abdicate the throne,
I am the Emperor of Wei. I shall never give in to a treacherous villain such as you.
We didn't get to do John Musu before because we didn't have it. Now we do. Wonder if weapon swap is available as well. Let's try it. This is another air because we were in the air.
No,
Feels like we leveled up.
I refuse to give in.
And this should be the weapon swap Musu? Yes, this is different.
He's really making this difficult for us. I just don't get these people who won't go with the times.
His fighting spirit remains undimmed. He must be quite stubborn.
Master Jiao Chong, I have brought the assembled soldiers with you.
Wang Ye, the other man. Yeah, so basically these 2 were the ones
must
that
endure
the emperor
moments
kind of
such as
approached,
these, Master Zhao.
along with Wang Jing.
You know what to do, right? Now go and make it happen.
I think Wang Jing's position was Shangshu at this time, so he was kind of in charge of the process of court reporting. Pretty important role. Basically,
I don't know
you
what you're
get
agonizing
these,
Just
I want to
go
say,
and
not
take the
memos, but
Emperor's
reports
throne
from the
already.
court, and you're supposed to report them to the emperor or whoever's in charge, in this case, police, Sima Zhao.
The rebels
So
are
you're
here.
kind of the keg
However,
in this
is
whole
where they will die.
system.
You're doing pretty good, I must say.
Wang Jing, that traitor who wouldn't actually help
Come
us.
forth. I shall teach you a thing or two about battle.
I mean, it's a man with guts. He knew he was gonna
I
die.
am content to die.
His 2 fellow officials basically begged him to go
That
with
was
them
almost too
because they
easy.
knew if they didn't tell Sima Zhao right away, and the emperor failed, which was definitely going to happen, given that he's just marching out there with some guards and eunuch, that they were all going to get killed, and their family as well. Although at the same time, not throwing Jia Chong under the bus doesn't mean, you know, Sima Zhao was nice. He threw Cheng Ji and the entire Cheng clan under the bus, even though they were the ones who were brave enough to stab the emperor. And they were so mad that he threw them under the bus, that he was going to execute them and their family, that they, on the day of the execution, they were basically standing up and running towards them, arguing, or not arguing, just complaining, basically, that they were betrayed, and they ended up not even getting a proper execution.
I have finished
The
my
guards just shot them down
Over here,
with their
Master
arrows.
Jiao Chong. We can enter
Am I
through
supposed
this
to
door.
open this? Ah, or it just opens.
I see. So this is your
Let's try this
answer,
weapon
Jiao
swap,
Chong.
Musu. Seems pretty good at shooting forward. Not bad. And we get to kill the
Your
Emperor
Highness,
inside
I
the
shall
throne
ask
room, I
you
guess?
One more time. Would you please consider abdication?
This empire has only stood for 40 years. Do you really think I'm willing to let it end with me?
Only 40
I will
years,
not
though.
let your
That's an
silly
awfully
pride
short
stand in
dynasty.
Zhao's way. I shall put a stop to you.
Master
Plus,
Zhao
it's not
must
even
do
considered a
what he
proper
can to
dynasty
defeat
because they
this
never
man.
united
I will
the
do what I
entirety of
can to
China.
help him.
Incompetence is always discovered eventually.
That's why we call this the Three
This is
Kingdoms
as true
period,
for emperors
not the
as
Wei
it is
period.
for anyone else.
There's a item bag. Alright, let's go back to a regular Musu. Almost forgot what it looks like. Wait, this is the regular Musu, so this is not the weapon swap. So we don't have the weapon swap yet. That's unfortunate. Not level 25, I guess?
last chance to talk. I will ask you one more time. Will you not surrender the throne, Your Highness?
Silence! I would never give up my throne just to spare my life!
My lord, leave this to me. Don't make that face. I'm more suited to this type of thing.
Your Highness, show some dignity.
What? Had a change of heart?
This is what you want from me, right?
Yes. However, the dirty work is my job.
They're really doing Tom all dirty. He's probably one of the gutsiest puppet emperors China ever had.
Bring the castle under our control and keep
He definitely knew he was headed for his death when he marched out, but he did it anyways.
We shall see about a new emperor.
As you command.
Right? This is the last emperor of Wei, who will abdicate to Sima Yan and live on for quite a long time. He lives till 302, I think, well into the Jin Dynasty, into his like almost 60, I want to say. He lives as a princedom. I mean, to be honest, Sima Zhao was scared. He was scared that, the realm would rise up against him, even though he had pretty much all of the Cao clan kind of in house arrest in Ye. But there were still a lot of officials, loyal to them. Taoyang, the final 11th expedition of Jiang Wei, ended in failure again. Zhonghui was not on the Western theater at this time yet. He comes in after this one fails and is leading the final assault. Jia Chong and Sima Zhao. Where is Deng Ai? They could also consider making Chen Tai into a character, but I guess since we haven't... I think we have played as him. He's the floating swords. So we played as everyone. I guess since it's the Western theater, we'll play as him next time and deal Jiang Wei sort of his final defeat in his 11th Northern Expedition. So we'll come back for that then. Until then, bye!